My name's Selena, and it's a real privilege to be able to share my experience with this community. I'm a leadership strategist and event consultant, and I have a range of other projects that I'm involved in. I want to share my experience, particularly starting about 10 years ago, about a particular workplace that I was in and experience that I was part of then. And just some things that really supported me during that time of challenge and, have helped me ever since. So at the time, I was working for an organization. I was working within training and development, and it was something I was really, really passionate about. I've been doing it for a number of years. It had always had its challenges in terms of the industry, the ways of working, but again, I was so driven by the absolute passion that I had to make a difference in the lives of those I'm working with, those that are also having challenging situations. And I was able to really use my experience to support people. However, over the years, the job became harder and harder in terms of the conditions, the way that we were working, and I suppose a lack of respect for managers. And this is particularly the area that I, really want to focus on and how it really impacted on my health and my well-being and my confidence. And so at the time, as I said, I was working in a freelance role. I did make a move to another organization within the industry, but it was based both as a freelance role. And they changed, I suppose, the process around payments, around work expectations, and around targets. And this became more unmanageable. So, there was really high expectation in terms of from the funding agencies, from the industry, I suppose, the sector, but also from the workplaces. But there was also less investment in terms of staff, resource, time, um, and just those things that you need to really help you to feel, particularly valued in a workplace. And that was what I was noticing kind of was really changing. And many of my colleagues were, again, really scared, really upset, worried, as I said, working much longer hours, working on the weekends, really challenging situations. But for a lot of people, it was really difficult to speak up because you were afraid, you were worried that you were going to lose your job, you were worried about the situation. So anyway, that went on for quite a while now, and it became more difficult. It became more challenging to deal with, and it really impacted me in terms of my confidence, in terms of stress. I felt withdrawn again because I was working much longer hours. It was meaning that I wasn't able to be part of maybe social activities. My family had noticed a change in friends. I was saying, I've got to cancel, I can't come because I was needing to work. But at the same time, as I said, the real irregularities with pay and with different things that were happening with the condition, and it just made things, more unmanageable. So anyway, that went on for a little while. And I realized at that point there was something I really needed to do, that an action really needed to take place because it was really starting to impact on my health, and conversations with management were really not helping at the time. So again, as I said, it was, I felt really overwhelmed, and it felt manageable. But anyway, what I felt at the time that I really needed to take a step back, that I needed to think about what were the things that I needed to do to support me. And at that time, I was getting ready, well, I was starting my own business. So one of the actions that I took was to really look at how could I, take that business and go full time, and what other options maybe with careers were there for me. So really applying some of what I was doing for my customers and clients, and identify as well. Again, having that space to talk to people, that's something that's really key. If you're feeling that you're overwhelmed, if you're feeling that things are unmanageable, it's really key to talk to someone. If there are people within your workplace, that's great. But if not, it's looking for places outside. And I know there are some great resources that are going to be signposted on here. So that's what I did. I started to talk to people outside. I spoke to my doctor. I spoke to, again, other agencies, also personal development, networking, and other groups that are really supporting my business and supported me. So that was something that really helped me move forward. And speaking to friends and family and trying to put really good boundaries around working. So again, I stopped working as late as I used to, started cutting things back, started really looking at to manage how I could manage my time, how I could be really clear about what was manageable, what wasn't manageable, communicating this to my employer, to my manager, but also kind of to myself, really making a plan. I started to look at tools, techniques, and things that would help me move forward. And as I said, by talking to others as well, it was really helpful. So that's one of the things I would definitely say as well is don't suffer alone. Find someone to talk to, no matter who it is, that can really support you to move forward and realize that it's not your fault as well. And, again, so that was one of the other things that really helped me, things, tools, techniques, and tips, as I said, that supported me in growing my confidence, bringing back some healthy boundaries in work, and really realizing and recognizing the steps that I needed to do to make a change. And that's exactly what I did. So build my self-esteem. And as I said, start to really think about my other options as well and getting myself out of that situation and making a plan to do so. Again, just to end on a final note, it was really interesting when I did leave. My friend, who I texted one day and said I'd left, and he said, "You sound happier." And this was over a text. And I really will never forget that. So thank you very much. As I said, my name's Selena. And yeah, look for other opportunities from that point. I realized that it wasn't me, but I needed to make a change. And I was in control of my life and looking at what I enjoyed, what I loved, how was I going to use my skills, and yeah, just that value of me. Thank you very much. Bye.